Okay, it's been a while. Been really, really busy. Seriously busy with some logo designs and so forth. All right, so I have a good friend of mine, Ray, who's been asking me kind of how I get the chrome effect in Corel. Well, I use Corel, and then I actually use Corel Photopaint to do this. And it's a really quick, really no nonsense way of going about it. There's some complex ways of doing it to make Chrome look a little bit more, but on this logo, we just want it so it looks just enough. So it'll be embossed and chromed at the same time. So let's duplicate this and move this over here and bring this over so it looks a little bit better. Okay, so what we're first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this mask. Okay. I'm going to hit duplicate. Go to bitmaps, convert to bitmaps. I want it to be RGB. Don't want it to CMYK because I want it to have a zero background, negative background, nothing behind it. So RGB, 300 dpi is fine. Okay, let that render out. Transfer it over into Photopaint. And here we are. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is go to Effects, Texture, Plastic. Okay, and I already have this set because I've done this before, this logo. And that's what I want for the emboss. I don't want it a little bit too crazy, but that's how I want it. So it's already been set. Like I said, I've already done this. Hit OK. Okay. Then next thing we want to do is go to Adjust, Tone Curve. Now, tone curve here on this one, since it doesn't have, it has, you see how it has the gray tones and the white tones and so forth? So it kind of already gives you a kind of a metallic-y look, but not to the point where we need it, where it has a reflection on it. So I'm only going to put two nodes on this line. I usually do three, but it's not necessary in here. And what we want to do is bend it to the point where we want what kind of chrome we want it to be. Now I just did three. That was not my point. So let's hit reset, just so you know you can do that. Put that up there. And I want to bring a little bit up to the white, bring more down to the blackish hue there, and bring a little bit more up here, and so forth. See how it gives you that chrome look, the grays and the darks and the whites and the hot points. It gives you a lot of hot flashes. I'll hit OK. I'm good with that. Now, you can, now that you have the chrome base, you can actually go and adjust this and put a color to it. So like that, like I said, I already had this pre-done, so it went instantly to what I last did. So that's a gold finish on there, which looks really cool. If you adjust these markers here, you can change the colors. So it looks almost like it's anodized finish. Okay, so I'm gonna hit cancel. Just do that, and I'm gonna select it, and I just copy and paste. So I'll bring that, and I'll bring it right back into Corel. Okay, and I always delete the last JPEG I used. Copy and paste. Okay, now we're gonna put it over Control and center it right over the existing mask. Now, the trick behind what I do, that's just too aggressive. It's too hard to look at, whatever else. I always knock it down. So I go over here to the transparency tool, make it transparent, okay? And I bring that level down so that way that's way too far. So let's zoom in a little bit, see that's a little bit better. Bring this back and maybe like that. That looks a little bit better. See how it has more of a 3D look than the original face. It has a lot more, so it's got more punch to it as far as that goes. Okay, which I really like. And like I said, you can go back and you can make this into your gold. Copy that. I'll show you what that looks like. And port it in. So you saw what that chrome looks like. You can see it's a translucent overlay. Now, before we switch to the gold, the next thing I want to do is in the translucency tool. A lot of people just don't use this, and this is where all my tricks come from. A lot of designs I do, and how people always wonder where my details come from. So from here, I would actually hit subtract, and that kind of, see how it was all gold or silver in this place, and now it's not in the environment where the black is. Now I can actually go back and make this a little bit more chrome. See how much more that looks more more realistic than having like how this has the gold in the black area. You don't want that. So use these filters. Subtract works good. I'll go through a few so you can see what they do. Add makes it brighter. See, so you get to learn these things. You can use it to your best advantage. That's multiply. Color is really a good one. It kind of gives you that cartoon look, but saturation didn't really do much. Depends on the color too. Overlay doesn't do much either there. And then the color versions does, so it gives you a lot of different things on there. Note, when you use any of these filters in here, when you go to save, you can't save as a JPEG. It'll look horrible when you export it out, because those filters definitely need to be done in a PNG format, and it'll keep the look that you're looking for. All right, let's go back to subtract. So it has a chrome there. So you see what that looks like. So I'll move this one out. Actually, I'm just put that one around here. So that one's there, and then I'll put this gold one on here. Okay, and we'll do the same thing, which is basically, okay, we're going to go back to transparency tool, transparency, okay, bring it to subtract, okay, now just play with the levels, which is fine. Gold's a little bit harder because you put in subtract, so you've got to bring the levels up a little bit more, and there it is. I'm happy with either which one. This is a quick logo and so forth. And he liked both of them, to be honest. You can use them for either which advertising and so forth. So as you can see, it's really, really quick. Less than, I would say, less than 4 or 5 minutes just to do this. Now I can get a little bit more complex, and I'll show you something a little bit more complex using the same way. So let's just take capitalize A, B, C, D, E, okay. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to make these a lot bolder, okay. Doesn't matter what the font is on this. I'm just going to show you the same thing with a little bit more complexity to it. And then what I do here is I go over and use the interactive fill tool, and I go from top to bottom, okay, and I make the bottom black also. What we're doing is actually mimicking the chrome that we want it to look like, and then highlights and so forth. And okay, I'm happy with this just for this demonstration. I should put that blacker there. Okay, so that's good there. All right, so that's vector there, and then what I'll do is duplicate that. Control convert it to bitmap 300. You want it RGB. Okay, then bring it over into Corel Photopaint. There it is. Our bang's very small, so I'll zoom in. Smaller it is, I wouldn't recommend working this small like I'm doing. I definitely work with it a lot larger, but you'll get, my whole point is you get the idea. So go over and hit effects, back to texture, back to plastic. Okay. Now this is where you want to adjust the brightness of the chrome, the depth of your embossness and so forth, emboss. Or this is actually not embossed, but it's the bevel of it and so forth. So you got to sit there and play with it. Sometimes some people overdo it with it's too big or too bad, and I just like a fine balance. That right there looks good to me. It's a little bit too bright. No, I guess that's okay. And I hit OK. Okay, that is the beginning of your chrome. Then you go into your adjust, and everything comes alive in tone curve. Now Now, this is where I use 3 points, right middle, one bottom, top, and I always start here and I pull, okay, and I look at this and I look at this at the same time. See how it already looks metallic? So you have to sit there and play with it. I always work with the light first, then bring the dark colors down. And see how it's already turning really metallic? Isn't that badass? Okay, so you can adjust this, where the light's going to hit and so forth, and how chrome you want it and so on. Like that, I'm happy with. I love this hot spots. I go through here. I love the little hot spots right in here. So I'm happy with that. I hit OK. Okay. And once again, you can leave it chrome here, or you can go back with a color balance. And, you know, it was set up from before. It was my last time I was in here. But once again, you can go in here and play with the colors and change it whatever anodized metallic look you want. So you can change this all out and so forth. Copper chromes, black chrome, so forth. I mean, it's up to you as the artist to figure out what looks great for you. So I hit cancel, click on it, copy, paste, and delete this because I don't need that. Okay, and then bring my last one, my new one in, put that over this. I always like to, if I am working with a JPEG or a bitmap, I always like the original font underneath just in case I need to change or a customer change it. That way I'm not sitting here going, all right, what was the font again and whatever. So I place that on top. There it is. It looks really good. And or to make this stand out even more, I would sit there and do a contour, okay, and give it a somewhat decent contour. Boom. Object, break apart, find what color I want to use, which is black, and I can place this right on top, and then that gives it a little bit more of an outline behind it, okay? That's pretty much it, guys. So you got it I just showed you a really quick way of making chrome letters in Corel and Corel Photopaint. Chrome anything, doesn't matter how you go about it. You can make any metallic things look really good. And what I do, as you see, is I use these filters and sorry, where am I at? Where am I doing? Okay. I use my filters of translucency. So I use my filters here to help me get what I'm really looking for. And there's so many weird filters here, you know, so use those, get used to playing with them, and they give you some really unique looks. But once again, once you're exporting it, you have to save those filters in a PNG. If you show it in a JPEG, it's very dull and gray. It does not export correctly, so just remember that. So there you have it. Really quick. Ray, I hope you see how I did this and see how easy it is. And I hope you use it in your artwork, sir. Anyone else that sees this video, I hope you use this and make anything you're wanting to make a metallic, especially I use it a lot, make it a real metallic underbase for stuff. So it gets really unique looking. And I love it. So, all right. Thank you very much.